What's up, guys? Dabu7 back at you. I'm going to talk about this whole shipping crisis and trade war crisis that's unfolding, and it's about to hit a whole nother level, and people just don't see it coming. This whole thing between China and the United States, it went into effect on April 10th. And it takes roughly 30 days to get across that ocean to get things from China to the ports in LA. It takes roughly 45 to go down and around through the Panama and up to get to Houston. And then it takes 55 to get all the way out and around over to New York City. With that said, we've already witnessed the United States during this time, since April 10th, they've yanked shipments going to China. We've even had bulk carriers that were on the water heading toward China change their port call to Japan. So what this means is people are in for a rude awakening. And this is about to crush our trucking industry by design once again. All the mom and pop shops are going to get wiped out. All the small time businesses, this is designed to wipe them out. If you haven't noticed, and a shout out to all my trucker guys out there and gals that are on the road that keep me posted with information, they're telling me they've never seen so many illegal migrants or migrants that can barely speak English driving our trucks. They've never seen as many. There's wrecks all over the place, constantly left and right. I was just watching one this morning, same thing. They were trying to get information and the guys barely spoke any English. So what's about to happen is when the ports dry up, because nothing's coming from China, this means the people that work the docks that unload things are not going to be needed. They're going to get laid off. This means the people in the warehouses that stack the stuff and pick the stuff and get it ready to ship through truck, they're not going to be needed because there's not going to be nothing coming in. Again, people are not going to start to see the full-fledged effects until around May 10th and beyond, when things stop coming in. Right? In the meantime, people are just sitting there waiting to get blindsided because this is in motion. It's already happening, and we're seeing the effects already in other countries. And like I said, our own shipments to China are already getting diverted to other places. Large-scale, huge shipments. Expect the same. It's already happening. They're going to divert. It's not going to come into America. They're not going to pay this 140% tariff that Trump has put on them. And until they can get something worked out, which may be a long time from now and maybe never, this is what's going on. So if something huge doesn't change to redirect all this, this is what we're facing. It's going to be a crisis in terms of a lack of things that are just not in stock. It's going to be people getting put out of jobs in terms of trucking, in the warehouses and everything else. And I'm telling you, this is just a continuation of destroying America. People that voted for Trump are never going to see it. They're never going to admit it. But that's what this is doing. This is hurting people left and right. People that are here have been hit hard already. I know farmers personally. I know people that deal with bees. I've reported on people that deal with chickens and everything else that are getting hammered because they can't get the stuff that they need at the price they were getting it at before. So I feel this is only going to continue. And from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, without a doubt, the hourglass has been flipped. So prepare. A crisis is in motion. I would stock up on some goods, critical items, especially anything that's coming out of Asia, out of China. I would definitely be stocking up on goods. And remember what I said about this hitting the trucking industry and the ports and all that. You just watch. Here now, within the next few weeks, all this is going to start to become rather obvious. And it's going to be too late then. It's going to be too late to try to get your hands on any supplies that are not around anymore. Or at least for the meantime, or that are hard to get. I just have a plan for it instead of getting blindsided by it. Join me on the live streams going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on W77. Breaking stuff like this down further into greater detail. I hope to see you guys there. Stay safe, stay sharp. Much love.
Shalom, Yeshua. Shalom. My name is Banash Pasha Before this begins, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Give it double honors to the apostles of the great millstone who rule well and teach well, the only one certified to teach the 100% truth of the Bible. And a sincere shalom to all the like-minded brothers pushing out this truth in sincerity. And sincere shalom to the Akwat out there listening in silence. Now, the video that you just saw, this man is going on about, hey, these tariffs and whatnot, like, there's going to be less and less stuff going on because we get everything from China. And, you know, Trump is out here putting all these tariffs on all these products and whatnot. And they're switching everything around and how long it takes for it to get here and whatnot. And pretty soon it's going to be running dry out here. And there's a lot of warehouse workers and truckers that are just going to be taken out of a job in that time. And, you know, this is what he's trying to do, he's trying to warn his people his way, but really the warning came far sooner than that. But, you know, this man, you know, this Edomite over here talking about all this, just really the salvation is not for you, you know, unless, you know, you go back to being a Jake, who knows? Only the Lord knows, of course, but from this, just from looking at it, you know, we judge from the spirit, you know. Honestly, he could be an Edomite. But the warning has been coming out ever since the apostles were out here breaking down these scriptures, giving all these warnings ever since like the 80s and whatnot. You know, speaking of from Apostle Tahar on down. You know, I wanted to bring out 2 Esdras 16. I had a point down, but really this whole chapter really goes into it. Starting with verse 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. It's like it. And, you know, which is beautiful because Babylon, modern day Babylon is likened unto America. And, you know, Asia, obviously China is out here beefing with each other. And this is going to be the end all be all. And the brothers at camp on Saturday, they were going into how for a while it's been London has been the monetary system and America has been the military system of the superpowers of the world. Now, because everything has been like made in China for so long, China used to be on the low, not having that ability to be able to have a good economy and whatnot until America, and not just America, but, you know, the entire world has really been like, make this stuff for me, giving them jobs, paying them so that they can get their economy started. So now they can build themselves up, you know. So now China's in a position where they've been doing this so long that they've had the ability to make their economy so much stronger that they can actually build, like, their monetary system may be low, like their actual GDP value, but people can go to work in those jobs, like those young kids can go to work and take care of the whole family. But, you know, here in America, that's not the case. And then even some other parts of the world, but China's monetary system is solid. And right now, China's monetary system is being built up to the point where all these tariffs, they don't need to play along anymore because they've had the ability to build themselves up monetary wise. So they don't even need to play ball with us no more. That's why you see how China be making all these Birkin bags and Louis Vuitton and all these high priced bags. They be all like, oh, us over here, we make this for like cents, like 5 cents over here. Americans, if you want to buy this stuff, come over here. You can purchase it for a huge markup, 99% off, basically. You can buy it at the actual price of the product, and they still won't lose money doing that. So with that being said, you know, That's where a lot of these brands are like, oh man, Trump is really messing things up because of all these tariffs. China doesn't have to work on that no more because they've had that ability to build themselves up, because they create everything for the entire world, you know? So just as that's why Trump wants to put all these so-called factories in America, but no company wants to front that money because you would have to work stupid cheap, and people can't even afford jobs that are going on right now. So if they make it even cheaper to try to build up our economy, it's still not going to work. But only China was in that position to be able to make that work. So now, as the world has changed from America being the military might and London being the monetary, it's now switching over to China having that monetary might and Russia having that military might. You know, that's why Putin put out the for Americans that want to get away from American values. How do you say it? Yeah. Putin has decided that Russia is going to be a safe haven for people who want to trade liberal Western ways for Russian moral values. And that's their propaganda. Kind of like how America's propaganda was pushing out that that whole Uncle Sam thing. This is their version of that. This is how they're trying to, oh, you don't like what America's doing? Guess what? We got you over here. We can protect you. We can take care of you and all that. Your own country can't do it. We can. We'll take care of you. But it's really just Edomite versus Edomite at this point. But this whole going further, gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Beware your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. This whole place is going down. And like dude said in the video, he feels like it's by design that this whole place is going to go down. And it is. It's just not by, well, in part, it is a part of the design of the elites that wanted to go down so they can build it back a different way. But really, it's the Lord that put that spirit on them to do it, because he wants to take it down completely. And he wants, he wants to do it this way. But if you think about it, it's a thing of their pride is so strong that they can't admit, you know what, we had it wrong. Let's go ahead and move forward in this proper way. No, what they would rather do is never admit they're wrong, have the system crash itself, and then say, oh, we're going to implement this new system so that they can still look like the saviors. But, that's just what's going to happen. That's why it's by design. They want this whole thing to fall. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? This whole thing it's a design way out of our own hands. The Lord said that he's going to put it this way. So, yeah, like dude said, it was beautiful that he said it was by design, because that's exactly what it's saying. Right? But, let me see. Yeah, if you jump down to verse 8, the mighty Lord sendeth plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? Again, it's just further laying down that foundation of the fact that it's not going to be going anybody else's way but the Lord's. And I want to go ahead and jump a little bit on down to verse. Yeah, verse 18. I'll jump down to verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars and the powers that shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And this is the mindset of those that are going to be, not paying attention to this truth, not paying attention to the prophecies, not paying attention to how the world is really working, and still just doing whatever they want to do. Because in that time, they're going to be like, oh, man, what am I going to do? It's like, And behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourge. That dude that made that video, he's not over here thinking about, oh man, I gotta do what I can to listen to the Lord. No, he's trying to save his own back in his own way. He doesn't see. This is why I'm saying, like, when we read spirits, he's not. There's a good chance that he's not a Jake. Most likely he's an Edomite. Well, really, he definitely an Edomite, but because the Edomite is going to look to save his own skin, and most Jakes, they may talk about the Lord in some way, or just say that they'll bring it back to the Lord in some way, whether they believe in him or not. But he didn't even bring it up whatsoever. So, he doesn't even have the Lord on his mind whatsoever as a way to give him praise, or like incorrectly, or in any way that could show that in some way that he understands that there's a spiritual side of things. He doesn't have that. Edomites don't have that ability to really see the spiritual side of things. So he's just trying to save his own skin his own way. Behold, famine and plague, the tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, the victual shall be so cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword and famine and great confusion. And who that could possibly be with trying to giving out these Chanel and Birkins and Balenciaga bags and whatnot, all the things that Jay cares about, for these stupidly low prices, because all they do when they make those things in China is they slap whatever company name or whatever in that area, but it's with that high quality stuff. There's man, I gotta see if I can find really that's Moab's best work is their textiles. When it comes to craftsmanship, they can craft some beautiful things, but because they're over here creating everything for the clothing brands and the products and whatnot, everything's made in China. Because they're no longer wanting to play ball with Trump and the tariff stuff, they just going ahead and just, all right, y'all can buy it right here and not even have to deal with all of these companies. Still the same quality, still the same name on it. They can't do anything. They don't have any of the copyright stuff over here. They can't tell us how to deal with this. So you can just buy it straight from here for $10, exact same quality, exact same name brand. So like now you're basically getting Jordans for non-Jordan price, but they're 100% legit. It's just the company doesn't like the fact that they can't make any money off that. So that's that thinking that it's going to be so good and cheap. And there's going to be other examples of that too. But this is just one good example to bring out. But yeah, they're going to think everything is cool because they can go ahead and grab as many of these as possible and then upsell them. Probably, how Jake does when they do all that flipping stuff. That's what they're probably going to do, honestly. That's what I see happening. Yeah, but these evils are going to continue to grow. And that's that part where he was talking about it falling by design. Esau wants it to fall. So he's going, okay, so China's going to go ahead and put all these areas where you can just buy these expensive things for basically nothing. All right. Now it's becoming, one of the brothers did a video about how the world is getting rid of the US dollar. Like they don't even want to use it anymore. So now we're getting closer to Esau Edom getting ready to put something in order, whether it's going to be some clash of hacking or who knows what they're going to do. But it's going to be this monetary system that America uses is going to fall. And then they're going to go ahead and implement this monetary system, this digital monetary system of which that the whole world is going to have to use. And it's all going to be within that chip. So you can't buy or sell or do nothing without that chip. That's what it's all coming to. Where, what does it say? And cause rich and poor Old and young, I believe. Rich and poor to receive mark. I can't even spell it. Revelation 13:16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads. That's that RFID chip that Elon Musk, not even just Elon Musk, there's other companies out there, but that Neuralink one is going to be basically like having, that's going to be the Jordans of the chip. You know, there's going to be other companies that are going to be equivalent of like Jordans, the Adidas, Fubu. Hell, there's going to be one that's like a great value version. Any chip that you get, any one of them, it doesn't matter what it is, you get that implementation, you are marked. And this is the warning that we've been giving y'all. That this warning that this dude wants to give you, it's not going to help you. It's not going to help you. Our trust is within the Lord. It's not trust. Yeah, Psalms 20 and 70. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we will remember the name of the Lord, Yahweh, our God. That's our power. That's who's going to save us. We're not worried about trying to stock up on food over here, trying to, let me go ahead and see if I can flip this or anything. No, we have no backup plan, no nothing, but 100% faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. This is the only way that it's going to work. There's no other way. If he's the one that's putting this whole thing to collapse and there's no way to stop it, why would we have any other way to try to pull ourselves out of it? It don't even make no sense. So the only way that we're going to move forward with this is by adhering to the prophecy and hoping that we part of that number and just having that full faith, the full armor of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and just only listening to this. All right? What's that? Proverbs 22. Yeah. 22 and 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. So this is that evil that we see is coming. We see Jacob's trouble is about to come in. So what do we got to do? Okay, we got to learn our history, basically. Learn who we are, learn who the devil is. So knowing who our enemy is, like we're told to do, we need to learn who our enemy is, and we need to prophesy against him, rebuking and condemning the world for doing its iniquity shamelessly, consistently, every single day that they love to do it. We need to be on that. And then on top of that, building that our own personal relation, seeking out our own salvation with the Lord, being 100% focused on that, and not putting any trust inside of this world whatsoever. You know, that's what we're being told to do. So this whole, try to find something to stock up or food and whatnot. You could be stocking up all that stuff just for all that stocking up stuff is just you collecting items and loot for the person on your block with the biggest stick. The one who's got the biggest weapon, closest to you, is the one that's gonna be collecting all that. All you're doing is grabbing it for them. So that full trust that you need to have needs to be in the Lord, because anything else, I mean, you're going to be bringing your own self down. So let's go back to Isaiah. Well, not back to Isaiah, that point that I was making of what we need to be doing. Isaiah 55. Yeah, I'll start at 3. Incline your ear and come unto me and hear, and your soul shall live. And I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David. So already it's saying, hey, listen to me and follow me. And this is how you save your soul. Listening to the Lord and following him. This is the only way that we get saved. And I'll make an everlasting covenant with you. That means that I'll make a permanent deal with you. That's what the Lord is saying to us. Even in the sure mercies of David, Lord willing, we're part of that house. That house of David, being Israelites. Lord willing, we're part of that number. The 144,000 that get saved. Verse 4, behold, I have given him for a witness to the people, a leader and a commander to the people. That's the elder apostles, the ones that are out here breaking down this truth, constantly, fervently pushing this out so that we can learn. That's what we are here to cultivate too. Okay, let me follow in this way because this is what I'm being told to do. This is the Lord. There's no feelings about this. This is what it says, follow it. That's all it goes to. Behold, thou shalt call a nation that knoweth not, and the nations that knew not thee shall run unto thee because of the Lord thy God, and for the Holy One of Israel he hath glorified thee. And that's the whole world not even recognizing. Brother Nahoya brought that out at camp as well. That all the nations are going to look at us as we are now. And then they're going to see as we get brought up in the kingdom. And they're going to be like, man, that's those people? Those are the ones? Those are the sons of God? Those are the ones that got to inherit everything? I treated them like that? That's what that's basically saying. So the point, verse 6, seek ye the Lord Yahweh while he may be found. Because there's going to be a time where he's going to hide his face. That's that famine. That's when the prophets are going to no longer be pushing out these videos. Apostle Tahar is going to come out soon. We don't know when. He don't even know when. And he's going to say, that's enough videos. That's your last one. And that's it. Then the famine is over. The famine begins. Then you can't find where we're coming. Who knows? It could be in the form of he could say that and then all our videos get taken down, or who knows how that's going to be. But right now, this truth is being prophesied on the highways and hedges. There's a camp in every city in this country. There's a camp in every city. And then on top of that, there's brothers all over the world, that are a part of GMS that are out here prophesying to all of y'all. So like if there's no excuse, it's out here. You either listen or you don't. And if you're not listening, you're not trying to get saved. That's that love of the world rather than the love of the Lord. And the Lord's going to put you to death for that. He's giving you every possible chance to listen, to save yourself, and you just want to keep doing your own thing. You got to die. And that ain't us saying it. That's the Lord. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found, and call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and let the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him. And to our God he will abundantly pardon. All right? So that's, let me read. Let me bring that right here. Isaiah 55. Let me show you. Isaiah 55. Let the wicked change their ways and banish the very thought of doing wrong. Let them turn to the Lord that he may have mercy on them. Yes, turn to our God and he will forgive generously. Now that's only for the Israelites. That's only for the Israelites. If you're not an Israelite, don't even try. Because it's not going to happen. It's just not. Y'all got to go into subjugation too. Y'all got to be dealt with as well. It is what it is. But only for the Israelites if that's going to happen. But on top of that, if you out here being wicked, this is saying you have this chance right now while you still have the ability to cultivate towards the Lord. If you coming over here and you actually sincerely decide no more while I go ahead and do super stuff. If the Lord puts that spirit on you, guess what? You have a chance. And there's not much that are going to be doing that. So out of all the Israelites, the 12 tribes of the Israelites, there's only 12,000. Let me go ahead and that. 12,000. Yeah. So Numbers 31:4. Of every tribe 1,000 throughout all the tribes of Israel shall ye send the war. So there were delivered out of the thousands of Israel, 1,000 of every tribe. 12,000 armed for war. Now that war that it's talking about is coming back once Yahushua comes back to lay waste to the world. So that 12,000 out of each tribe, those are the only ones saved. That's the 144,000. All right, you do the math. 12 times 12. I mean, it's 144. It's 1,000 on each 12. Yeah, it's going to be 144,000, obviously. So that 144,000 are the only ones that are going to be out here, laying waste to this world with Yahushua when he comes back. All right? But out of that 12,000, those are your chances to actually come into this truth. Those are your chances. That's that 1/3 that will be saved. Outside of that, nothing. No one else is getting saved. Those 2/3 got to be cut off. All right. Let's see. I had a couple more that I wanted to bring out. Maybe in Revelation. Ooh, never mind. Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now the Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor shall the years draw nigh, even when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Now, let me go ahead and bring that out here. Ecclesiastes 12:1. Don't let the excitement of youth cause you to forget your Creator. Because there's some of us, when we come into this thing, it matters about how your spirit is. And that spirit can still be like undisciplined and not taking things seriously. And the Lord's going to deal with you a specific way. If the Lord is dealing with you, he's gonna purge that immaturity out of you. And it's going to hurt. But it's going to be absolutely necessary. But don't let the excitement of youth cause you to forget your Creator. Honor him in your youth before you grow old and say life is not pleasant anymore. And that's really just saying, like, don't be out here forgetting the Lord and then get to a place where, like, damn, all this unnecessary stuff happened when I could have just been following the Lord. And really, you ain't really got time like that. You shouldn't have it on your mind like, oh, I got time, I can just do all this and whatnot. Because this whole thing is spewing out a lot faster than we even thought it was going to. And not only that, the Lord is speeding up the times. These days are passing by like seconds now. So you got to really focus and let go of everything. Everything that is causing you to, oh, I just want to relax. I just want to go ahead and do it. You should just want to please the Lord every day. You should just want to let go of all the stupid stuff that you want to hold on to. And if you're finding it difficult to be able to do that, fast. You living too much in the flesh at that point. So you got to fast. That's you disciplining your own flesh, because the flesh and the spirit, they do not mess with each other at all. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. The spirit wants to go out and please the Lord, but the flesh wants to just be carnal and just be doing stupid stuff, doing whatever that can please it. So that's where fast, pray, exercise, do anything to keep yourself from really ignoring the Lord. Put everything into coming towards the Lord, because we don't got much time left, Actually, yeah. Hosea 5. We'll go. Is Hosea 5:15. I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction they will seek me early. Let's go ahead and bring that in the NLT. Here we go. Then I will return to my place until they admit their guilt to me and turn to me. For as soon as the trouble comes, they will earnestly search for me. That's that That's that pleasing your own skin, not paying attention, doing whatever makes you feel good. If that's your mentality, understand you probably not of the elect. The elect has that mentality of fuck how I feel. Excuse my French. It's really about the Lord. The elect has that mentality of it ain't well how I feel about it. It's how the Lord feels about it. And I'm wrong, which is why I'm in this situation. Doesn't matter how I slice it. I'm wrong because this is why I'm in this situation. If the Lord says this, it doesn't matter how I feel about it. I need to do it. But not having that mentality, you just going to be doing whatever you want to do. And then when shit starts hitting the fan, that's when they're going to be like, oh, snap. That's just like, almost like that movie Book of Eli. Everybody just wanted the Lord in that moment, but they weren't really about it beforehand. I know there was one dude that in that movie that was, he wanted to flip the whole narrative as long as you had the book and whatnot. But the point still stands. Like, people are just going to, hell, some rappers have even said it. Baby Keem said, y'all treat your Lord like renter's insurance. You only use it when you need it. Really, you need it all the time, but y'all don't have a need for the Lord in your life. And you know what? That's Revelation. Yeah. Yeah, I can start it. Yeah, Revelation 18. Let's just start right at verse 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine and wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And just going off Revelation 18:1, that's talking about Yahushua coming back, cracking the clouds, having that great power and lighting up the whole world. And saying Babylon or America, the great has fallen. That's the downfall of this place, where everything's going to heck, and wars building out sedition between man, Edomite against Edomite, or Egyptian versus Egyptian, and nukes is gonna get launched and all that. So that's where he's saying, yeah, it's fallen, and hold of every foul spirit in the cage of an unclean and hateful bird. It's just nothing but just evil and stupidity just abundant in this place. And not only that, but all the nations, all the other countries have drunk of the wine. And that wine is talking about the philosophies. They just keep listening to the so-called white man, who is Esau Edom, the devil. The devil and Satan are two different beings. Satan is the spiritual aspect that can affect, damn near anybody. Esau is the, what's the word? They're they are worshipers of I forget exactly how to word it. If the elect are worshiping the holy or worshiping the Lord through the Holy Spirit, well, the Edomites, they are physical demons, basically, just straight demons, perfectly demonic. That only work that through Satan, that's their equivalent of the Holy Spirit. That's the left-hand side of the Lord, the judgment and the evilness that he puts out there. So that's what that is. Satan is basically the evil Holy Spirit. which is the evil spirit that is on that can really affect anybody, you know, but mainly channels through the Edomites. That's why they can't go to bed without doing something evil, you know. And I know I have that scripture out here somewhere. What was it in this one? Proverbs 4:16. For they sleep not except they have done mischief, and the sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. That's talking about Esau, Edom. All right. So that's proof right there. They literally can't go to bed unless they cause someone to fall, unless they doing evil. That's our enemy. All right. So that's who the whole world is trying to listen to Esau, Edom, because right now it's looking like the Lord is propping them up as if he's the favorite, and that's what he keeps telling everybody. So everybody's out here believing it. Until you look at the histories of everything that they're doing, everything they've ever done. But the Esau Edom there's not a single nation that he hasn't shook hands with, and also, what was the word the brother used in camp? It was, I forget the word he used, but there's not a single nation on earth that he hasn't shooken hands with and also extorted or stole from or just completely went off on a deal or whatnot. And, you know, this is saying all the nations have drunk the wine of the wrath of fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with it. They're all jumping in the same pot with them, trying to get a little bit of that bag that Esau Edom's getting. Because Esau Edom, the way that he got it was through rape, pillage, and through rape and murder and pillaging of all the other nations. There's not a single nation on earth that he ain't done that to, even his own people. You know? And the kings of the earth had committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth will wax rich through the abundance of her delicacy. So you got a bag from Esau if you went ahead and did whatever he wanted. All them rappers and all them other world oligarchies and all that stuff, they all had to jump in that pot and get just as filthy as Esau to go ahead and deal to be able to enjoy that the payments and the money and the status and the wealth and all that. They had to go ahead and do that with Esau Edom in order to do that. That's what this is saying. And the merchants of the earth were waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not her plagues. So that's the Holy Spirit telling us, hey, get out of there. Get out of there. That's for Israel. Hey, what's it called? That's like when you, I'm trying to think about an analogy for this. It's like that part of a movie where some character is thinking they hot shit, and you get this big burly character that comes out and he's like, hey, you don't want to be here for this. And then they go deal with that character that's just going off and whatnot. That's what the Lord is saying. Like, hey, you don't want to be here for this. So we got to listen. Hey, you know what? You damn right. I don't want anything of what Esau is finna get. You go ahead. You got that. So that's what that's saying. For her sins have reached unto heaven. That's the Lord saying, hey, I'm letting their sins stack up. It looks like they're getting away with everything, but don't worry. I'm remembering every single thing that they're doing. Trust me. I'm gonna let it rain down on them in time. For her sins have reached on to heaven, and thy power hath remembered her iniquities. Yo, hey. The apostle elders have been putting this out ever since the 80s, man. This is the warning that you've been needing this whole time. Not stock up on groceries and whatnot. Because who's to say that with that martial law, when those soldiers start coming house to house, and they're going to raid your food and make sure that you don't have a certain amount of food for a certain amount of time. like a week's worth of food and then burn everything else. Then you have to go over there and get that mark. They're gonna force everyone, young and old, free and bond, to receive that mark. How do you think it's gonna happen? They're gonna force you. They're not gonna allow you to stock up. You're not gonna have a generator. They're gonna take that. You're not gonna be able to live in that city and not have that mark. If you don't have it, you either getting put in the guillotine, you getting put to death by a firing squad, you getting locked up. You'll be lucky if you get kicked out of that city. That's the best case scenario. And then you still having that 100% full tracking that Esau's got. So you're not really out of it. It's just however the Lord is going to deal with you, you know? But hey, these people are not getting away with this. There's no version of this where they come out on top. The Lord is remembering every single last thing that they're doing. And that's what's going to happen. Reward her even as she has rewarded you. And that's returning what Esau Edom has been doing to us back onto them. That's return to sender from the Lord, and double unto her double according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled to her double. So that's saying, oh, it's not just return to sender. I'm gonna do even more than what they did. So understand, they really not gonna get away with not a single thing. There's nothing, bro. I got a couple more. Luke 21. This is in the red letter. So, this is the Lord speaking. Yeah. So we know what Esau Edom's finna get. The Lord is saying, don't worry, I got you. I'm finna, everything they did to you, I'm gonna do double to them. Think about how the Lord is talking to us, man. That's like how a parent will console their child. Like, oh, them kids messed you up. Like, if your kid got bullied and whatnot, oh, they touch you, they put your hands on you. You sit right here, I got you. And then they go ahead and deal with that situation, But this is going to be a righteous thing with the Lord, Him bringing out his righteous anger. What is that? Indignation, I believe. That's literally indignation. Meaning anger or annoyance provoked by what is perceived by unfair treatment. That's the righteous anger of the Lord that he's going to carry out over everybody who's had a hand in us going down. That's why the scripture was talking about all the nations that have drunken on their wine and whatnot. They all going to receive a portion of that as well. But Esau Edom is going to receive that double portion, But Luke 21. Yeah, I'll start at 31. So this is what we need to do in this. So likewise, ye, when ye see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of thy power is nigh at hand. It's almost here. We almost at the end. Again, the brother always be saying it's never a bad day to be an Israelite. It's never a bad day to be an Israelite. And us being in this truth, the chances are going up. The further we go towards this truth, the further we strive towards it, the chances of us being saved goes up. All right. So, yeah, know that the kingdom of God is nigh at hand. Verily I say unto you, the generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. So that's saying like, hey, y'all are not going to be just casted out. Y'all, Lord willing, we won't see death until all the prophecies comes out. And even then, Lord willing, we beamed up in those chariots, been made perfect and given us new perfect bodies and coming down to to lay waste to the rest of the world that partook in our captivity, that benefited from us going under, to finding those elites in them bunkers and putting them in captivity, as they did with us, but in a righteous way. You know, it's like it. Verse 33, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, so that day come upon and Salakia. And so that day come upon you unawares. So that's saying, like, hey, just keep your mind right. Stay focused on this truth so that you don't get caught off guard when this happens, like everybody else is about to be. They didn't listen to they didn't listen to the apostle elders. They didn't listen to the men on the streets prophesying this in truth and sincerity, prophesying the downfall of America. They didn't listen. That's why they're getting caught off guard. Why is this happening? That's why they bugging out. And it's gonna get worse for them because they really just don't understand. They don't have that Isaiah 33:6. Wisdom and 33. Wisdom and knowledge. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. That's what's going to be happening with us. The fear of Yahweh will be our treasure. And that wisdom and knowledge comes from that understanding, the breakdowns of these scriptures and the breakdowns of the prophecies of what we live in now. So there's nothing about what's going to happen in this world that's going to catch us off guard. If we paying attention to this truth, we'll have that understanding. That spirit will be built up in us to properly deal with what's going to come our way, because the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is putting his spirit on us to be able to handle that situations, all those situations. Doesn't matter what. It's a full trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So nothing will catch us off guard. No bombs, no gunshots, no tweakers, no nothing. No situation that's gonna have us be like, oh God, what do I do? What do I do? Nah, it's damn. All right. Lord still guiding me though. The Lord still guiding me. Call all y'all Ba'ashem Yahushai. That's that mentality that he's building up in us. All right. Lord don't want me over there. Lord don't want me over there. All right. You know what? That looked like a place the Lord want me. Let's go. And that's just the mentality that we're going to have. Everybody else going to be bugging out. They're going to see one thing, tweak, and just go off in every direction. But this is how we come up into this thing, you know? Yeah, that was all I wanted in Luke. And I got a couple more. Psalms 91. It's like, yeah. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of Yahweh, he is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in him I will trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. In truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day. So none of these bombs and missiles and shit that's going to be going around all at that time, all these wars and whatnot, civil or national or world war stuff going on, we ain't going to be tweaking. We just going to be all like, all right, this is literally right here. That's what it's going into. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor by the arrow that flieth by day. We ain't going to be tweaking about it. Y'all will. We won't. Nor for the pestilence that walk in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth away at noonday. There's no side of this. If we're having that 100% truth, and knowledge is that thing that is helping us. But the Holy Spirit is what's really the engine of our faith, man. And that's what the Lord is. He's fine-tuning that engine, making sure that it will be perfect to deal with that situation in that time. We're going to deal with judgments in that time. Who knows what's going to happen? Some of us may get shot and live. Some of us may lose members. Who knows? However it's going to be. But ultimately, when we come into this thing, we're going to be perfectly taken care of. There's no side of this in which it's really how the Lord wants to put it out. But if he puts it on us to not have to see it, we won't deal with it. We won't be afraid. We won't move the same way that everybody else will. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at the right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Yeah, man. All we got to do is just dwell within these scriptures. Dwelling within the scriptures keeps us with the proper mentality to handle what needs to be coming out now. There's no version of this There's no version of this that won't work by trusting in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. That is the only way this works. Verse 2, I will say of Yahweh, he is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in him I will trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. That's really all it is, man. And I got one more. Daniel. Daniel 12:1. And at that time Michael shall stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, never as such was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, and every one that shall be found written in the book. And that book it's talking about is that book of life. Those who are taken care of before, those who are alive before the earth was done. So those are the ones that are actually going to be saved. And Lord willing, we're part of that number, That's what it's all for. This is a endurance race where we know we win as long as we just cross the finish line. It don't matter what the obstacles that we are facing. We know as long as we cross the finish line, we good. As long as we go to finish the race, that's it. As long as we put our best effort in pushing towards the end, that's the only way that there is a win. However the Lord wants to deal with us is however he wants to deal with us. But our mentality is we ain't giving up. We paying attention. There's no version of this where we come out on top if we try to do it our own way and not hearken unto the Lord. Lord willing, you'll find this edifying. Call all Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai for allowing me to do this video. Hey, my name is Bayan Ashton Pasha. Lord willing, I see you up in them chariots. Shalom.